After 18 months, 9 public hearings and interviews with hundreds of witnesses, the Select Committee of American lawmakers investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol has released its final report. The 845-page report comes just days after the bipartisan House committee voted unanimously to refer Mr. Trump to the Justice Department for criminal prosecution. And for more, Benji Hire joins us live from Washington, D.C. Benji, what are some highlights from this report which could have an impact on Mr. Trump's political future?
Well, I think it's fair to say that most people are still actually making their way through this humongous document. You said it was hundreds of pages long. It includes testimony from thousands of witnesses, and it is really the most comprehensive report yet that's looked into Donald Trump's words and actions in the lead up to, during, and then after the January 6th riot at the US Capitol, just weeks after the presidential election in 2020 that he lost. And it's kind of draws a damning portrait of his desperate attempt to cling to power. The main takeaway, and I'm quoting here from the report, is that the central cause of January 6th, that deadly insurrection at the US Capitol, was one man, former President Donald Trump, who stirred up that crowd at the rally just hours before they descended on the Capitol to storm it. And it puts him front and centre of spreading those false claims about election fraud that inspired people to descend on Washington, D.C. that day. It also says, and again I'm quoting, that Trump refused to act as that riot unfolded. Instead, in fact, he went through several legally dubious, I should say, attempts to try to overturn that election result by pressuring fellow lawmakers, even his own Vice President, Mike Pence, and state officials. You may recall a phone call that he made to the Secretary of State of Georgia, begging him almost to find 11,000 more votes that would have won him that state. So essentially a plethora of information, some of which you've already heard, but plenty more detail now, exploring the fact that Donald Trump intentionally tried to retain his position as president in those weeks after the election.
Oh, thanks for that. Benji High reporting live just there from Washington, D.C.